Hello everyone, Cassia614 here, welcoming you to the 7th episode of the final Life Abridged countdown. In this countdown, we've been counting down the top 40 series to put out material between June and November of 2009. This episode kicks off the top 10 with series 10 through 6 of the second half of 2009. Series number 10, Adam West's Lapdog, Majora's Mask. This show put out episodes 7 through 9 during this time. And full disclosure, I do play the old lady within these episodes of Majora's Mask. Adam West's Lapdog proves, especially there's this extended bit at the beginning of episode 7, that his wheelhouse is Link banter. Link being the clueless dork, it works, and it is absolutely the strength of the series, and he proves that extensively with the beginning of episode 7. The asides from that do tend to be a little bit weaker depending on the minor character being featured. Tingle's backstory in episode 7 was great, very funny. Tingle in general, his old joke about the long-named city that he has maps to, that he decided, screw it, Cardiff, because he couldn't pronounce the long name. Very funny. He was a particularly strong character in episode 7, and the Link tattle banter continues when Link turns into the stone version of himself, and the Chuck Norris jokes in episode 9. Very, very effective. So just this show, obviously, Adam West's Lapdog, can be very silly. It works, and the show continues to be really solid. All of his stuff, all of his Zelda material, I think has been really solid because he's really cultivated this hilariously clueless hero in Link. Series number 9. TeamDN's Death Note, which put out episodes 9 through 13 and a half during this time. There was a bit of weirdness when Lanny Pator guest starred as some of the characters on the show. He was really quite good as Light in that one episode, so it worked out, but a bit odd, certainly. A strength that this show always has had is the editing. The editing is particularly impressive, the way that they put, different animes in there and throughout. I mean, they didn't do anything too flashy relative to previous episodes in these current ones from the last 6 months, but in general they've always been very solid with that. And the Yotsuba group, as they're gearing up at the end, these episodes have been building, I think, in general. The Yotsuba group is nice. The voicing is solid. I do particularly like the female voices done by I Touched Yusuke. This show is, in my mind, famously inconsistent. I always can go to this show to know that I'm going to be surprised no matter what happens. It can be really great. It could be, really, not as great. I think these episodes have been building, which to me was a pleasant surprise, but up until episode 9 I'd been seeing a sort of like seesaw effect, but I think that these have been steadily moving forward, which makes me happy. Aizawa I'm liking more and more. L is sort of growing on me. It's a very understated sort of tone for L that I think isn't exactly right for comedy necessarily, but I think he's been growing on me as sort of weirdness, which I think if they could play up would be even better. That he's very laid back. If we could get laid back and just a little more self-awareness in the show for that, I think that'd be really quite something. But in general, I think the show's been building up, which is good. And besides that little weird blip with Lena Pator in one episode, not that he wasn't great, but just odd for the show to have done that. I think this show is really starting to continue to come into its own. It's obviously been around for quite some time. Series number 8, Megami 33's Sailor Moon, episode 36/37 and 40 through 40 came out this time. This show's strength is its sense of fun. No matter what is being said, you enjoy watching it and listening to it because it is so much fun, and the people doing the show are having fun, and you can just really get into it. The musical episode 36/37 was very, very fun. again, it's not necessarily that it's the most polished comedy, though it is very funny, but it is more the fun than the humor of it. But it goes along with it. Like, you're more liable to be laughing and smiling along with it because it is so much fun. Queen Beryl has always been great, and I have down here at episode 38. She's fantastic. The ninja jokes in there, they all worked. I mean, Chris Ricks and Megami 33 are both amazing in this show. I mean, they're the core characters in there, and they just make it work. The flashback scenes were amazing in episode 39. I'm sad that we lose Malachite, because I love the bad guys. I mean, headed up by Queen Beryl, but I mean, I loved Zoisite. So sad when Zoisite died, and I'm sad now that Malachite's gone. Spoiler, sorry. But in general, I think that, you know, this show has always had very, very fun supporting characters, I think. So you always can count on this show to just sort of take you in these weird directions, and you just have a lot of fun with it. You're not wading and trudging through something, trying to grab onto jokes here and there. No matter what's going on, whether it's a punchline or not, you can just really get into it because it's so silly. Series number 7. G-Wing TAS Gundam Wing Abridged. Episode 19 and the episode 19 addendum came out during this time. Tyrest has this amazing ability to have a really distinctive delivery that's clearly Tyrest, no matter who he's voicing. You can be like, Tyrest, yes, that's him. But he's very good at distinguishing between the characters. That's something that I think is kind of interesting. The Howard voice being so clearly not Tyrest was effective. I mean, it was odd at first, but almost immediately grows on you to the point where you're like, yes, I like this, I approve. The man in love with Lady Anne is hilarious in this episode. And the extended reporter scene was great in the addendum. Reporter scenes in general have been so good in all the shows going on. I wish there were more episodes to comment on, just because I think Tyrus has such a unique delivery of stuff that, it bears more commentary, but unfortunately there was only the one episode and the addendum. So which brings us to series number 6. SXAbridged Big O. Disclosure, I do play 3 different roles on this. I play myself, I play the reporter woman, and I play Angel Schmaltzy, which I must say is actually my favorite role to voice ever. I'm Jewish, and playing the Jewish stereotype, I shouldn't like doing it, but I do. Anywho, moving on. That's not why I put it on the list here. Why I did. On Wardle as the sleazy upper class lead, like that sleazy, intelligent, upper class character, that's his major strength, so casting him as that was genius. The list of people that they're offending is great. The fact that they are offending so many people, that type of humor, is edgy and fun, and I love it, and I think SXAbridged just gets it. His old SNL references are awesome. I found a few. This is episodes 1 through 5 came out during this time. I found a few in there. Some of them were clearly, lampshaded, and some of them were not, and I enjoyed every one. Adam West's lapdog as Big O is slightly different from how he normally sounds on some of his stuff. He slips back into his more standard voice sometimes, but interesting to hear him do this. The Brokeback Mountain spoofs in there. HBI2K, very well used here. HBI2K has been weirdly used in some other series, and I think that he's really well used here as Schwarzwald, I think his name is. And just in general, the show is a lot of really good decisions to put people where they are. And episodes 3 and 4 are fantastic. Like, the way that they did the plot in there, which was a clear departure from the original. And a weaker episode 5, but 3 and 4 stand out as some of the best abridging stuff out there, really. So definitely, I'd recommend watching 1 and 2 if you're going to watch 3 and 4, to set it all up. But that show in general, really fantastic, and I can't wait to see more of it and voice in more of it, because it's really fun. So watch out for the final 5. Each of the top 5 shows, I will be posting them individually with the top 5 clips from each of the shows. So show 5 will have its 5, etc., etc. So with that, time is running short, so I will bid you adieu. look out for the top 5 shows to put out material June through November 2009.